With the ever-increasing demands to not only teach the subject according to the specification, but also embed safety, British values, prevent, safeguarding, IT, employability, healthy living, English and maths, I, like many other teachers, have felt overwhelmed and puzzled. Surely doing all these while taking care of learners' diverse needs and interests is not an easy task. Through trial and error over the years, I have created an approach which I think allows me to do all these without overwhelming the learners. Here I share my approach to meeting individual needs and much more by describing the structure of the lessons I teach to Maths Entry 3 functional skills learners. As with every process of meeting others' needs, this starts with an assessment of the starting points. I considered using the diagnostic assessment each learner completes at the beginning of the course, online interactive quizzes that provide instant feedback and are completed at home, short Kahoot, Socrative or mini whiteboard quizzes which are done at the beginning of the session, or a short topic-based diagnostic printed on paper which is given to learners a week in advance and is self-assessed by them first thing when they arrive. I decided to use mini whiteboard, Kahoot or Socrative quizzes for this class as it's a quick way of assessing the starting points, does not require learners to use a device at home or do any pre-session reading or research. While doing the assessment in class, learners record the number corresponding to the question that they need to work on at the top of the mini whiteboard. This information is used later on to help them make pairs or groups based on their gaps. All the assessment methods, however, have their own advantages and I use different ones for different groups. Having identified the areas of strength and those for improvement, learners pick the objectives they will be working on and record them in a learning diary alongside a rank rating of their confidence at this point in the lesson for every objective. For a revision session where there would be multiple learning objectives, learners use a learning diary with pre-populated objectives, aiming to save time in class and avoid having many objectives on the board. Now it's time to actually visit these destinations. Learners use books, the internet, and ask each other before they come and ask me for help. This is formally known as C3 before me. Planning for these lessons incorporates a high ceiling, low floor approach, meaning that I need to be prepared for all learners knowing nothing or knowing it all, and anything in between. That is why, in addition to the prepared resources, I have a treasure chest with questions of the next level in maths. Learners can pick questions from this box at any point during the lesson and find the answer at the bottom of it. But before they move on to these questions, if they have finished what they are expected to, learners pick a golden ticket which encourages them to go back and check their answer, compare their answer with someone else's, or create a question themselves. After this point, the focus is on the application of the skills in real-life scenarios. Examples include estimating the lifetime earnings using Career Coach, estimating the cost of training using the National Careers Service website, calculating how much tax they would pay each year in their chosen career. And I think this is a great help for learners to make that connection between what is learned in the classroom and what happens outside it in the real world, something which is not very easy for learners of maths. After the application, emphasis is given to the highest levels of Bloom's taxonomy, such as analysing, evaluating and creating. Here learners make links between the topics, create spreadsheets, posters, mind maps, and an example includes learners making a clock with a clock mechanism and other resources, decorating it and giving a short presentation to another maths class about their work. This gives me a great opportunity to embed naturally a range of topics such as English, IT, prevent and e-safety. Through the activities done so far, I hope that learners have learned, for instance, what a bar chart is, how to extract data from it and how to create one. But do they actually know what a bar chart is not and how a misleading one looks like? You'd be surprised that most of the time they don't. This is why one activity in each topic has a focus on misconceptions, including sorting statements into true and false, or sometimes always and never true. Just as important as setting those targets at the beginning of the session or activity is the reviewing of them at the end. I'm often guilty of not allowing enough time for reflection at the end, but have learned that pausing to reflect and retrieve what has been learned in the activity, session or the previous sessions is very important. Mind maps and posters are a great way to revise and make links between topics, just as meaningful homework that gives exam practice is. And here the journey for the week is complete. Thank you for listening, and let me know if you have any suggestions on how the approach can be enriched and improved. Thank you.